Good, happy Thursday morning, August 22nd, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news this morning, so let's begin. First up, storm-chasing meteorology student records rotation in Hooksett. Iowa State student happened to be in New Hampshire to get married. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
Do you need a new roof but think you can't afford it? Our average customer pays $7,500 for a total roof replacement, and we have finance plans with payment options under $150 per month. Call today. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
Well, Tom, that storm chaser tells us he's seen tornadoes form in the Midwest and did not expect what he witnessed right here in New Hampshire.
I think a tornado's forming right on top of us.
When the tornado warning was issued in the Hooksett area, Hunter ran outside with his phone. Hunter lives up to his name. He's a storm chaser.
There's literally rotation.
The 22-year-old meteorology student at Iowa State says he tried to record the rotation near the town offices.
Right there.
When I looked through some buildings and I could see what looked like debris starting to rotate. Eventually, the whole entire thing was above me spinning, and I was like, all right, time to go inside, and so I just started running.
And Hunter wasn't alone. His fiancée, Lucia, lives here. Hunter came to New Hampshire to get married.
It was crazy to see how fast the clouds and wind was going and just in every direction spiraling.
The National Weather Service has viewed their video, and this couple says they'll weather any storm ahead, even on their wedding day.
I hope it's a nice, pretty day, but I would not be surprised if we end up with some crazy storm.
Now, the National Weather Service told Hunter that video is helpful to study, but it cannot verify a tornado right now. There are no reports of injuries or damage. Live in Hooksett tonight, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Portsmouth woman being treated in Boston after hit and run. Fundraiser has already raised thousands of dollars. Let's go to WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire with this report.
For 10 years, New England homeowners have trusted Century Roofing. We get the job done right at a fair price. Call today to arrange a free estimate and to reserve a spot for your 2019 roof replacement. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
Tom, Julia West's family says they're so focused on her well-being and road to recovery. They have no space for anger right now, but they are calling on whoever that driver is to step forward.
Julia's just an amazing girl. Absolutely, she's just bright. She's funny. She's very smart. Musician, loves music.
Julia West's dad and older sister are by her side constantly. The 19-year-old was hit early Friday morning and left lying on Woodbury Avenue.
We're not angry right now. We're grieving a little too much to be angry, but we are asking that if anybody knows anything, or even if whoever did this has any ounce of compassion, that they would come forward.
Julia is now at Mass General Hospital. Her family says she's mostly kept unconscious to make sure she's comfortable.
She's got a lot of injuries that she's attained from all this,
including facial fractures, a broken arm, and broken left leg, which both need surgery, and lacerations to her face and torso.
We're lucky that somebody found her minutes after and reported that and called it in.
To that person, the Wests are so grateful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all we can say, because that was the hardest thing for us, was just thinking about her laying there alone.
Friends and family are getting them by with prayers and support. Julia's older sister, Lauren, says they're receiving so much love because of who Julia is as a person.
She's a wonderful person. She's done a lot for a lot of people, and it's really hard to see her like this.
Now the family is asking for continued prayers for Julia's recovery. They'll be in Boston now for the foreseeable future. Meantime, an online fundraiser for Julia has already raised thousands of dollars. You can find a link to that on our website. Tom?
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Manchester mayor race set to heat up. Republican challenger Sullivan takes on incumbent Mayor Craig. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
For 10 years, New England homeowners have trusted Century Roofing. We get the job done right at a fair price. Call today to arrange a free estimate and to reserve a spot for your 2019 roof replacement. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
It won't be long until campaign season begins to ramp up for city elections in Manchester. The incumbent, Mayor Joyce Craig, is making the case for a second term.
I want to continue with what we're doing, what we've done over these last 2 years. We have tremendous momentum going. We've spent a lot of time on economic development. We've got new businesses coming into the city.
This summer, Craig has benefited from the attention and organizing power of the many presidential campaigns operating in the Queen City. First in the nation, primary energy being fed into the state's most high-profile municipal race.
We're grateful for that. Not only the campaigns, though, we have residents in our city who have volunteered and continue to do that.
Republican challenger Victoria Sullivan believes the presidential candidates are a distraction.
I know that there's an entourage. I know every presidential candidate on the Democratic side is going to come in. They've given her money, and I know they're giving her boots on the ground. We're focusing on the people of this city. We're concentrating on what needs to get done.
Sullivan, a former state rep, has focused heavily on crime and issues facing Manchester's downtown, highlighting concerns of business owners who say homelessness and open drug use are keeping customers away.
It actually breaks my heart to see the city going in this direction. And like I said, I'm raising my children here. We know so many families that have abandoned the city, who have left because their family comes first and they want to put their kids in a safe environment. We're not providing that at this time.
While Sullivan says the city can do better, Mayor Craig says a lot of work is being done to address those problems.
Most recently, I proposed adding 5 additional police officers, and that was overwhelmingly approved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen.
All that and more will be sorted out in the weeks ahead. In Manchester, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Washington Governor Jay Inslee announces he's dropping out of the 2020 race. Washington Governor Jay Inslee is dropping out of the 2020 presidential race, announcing Wednesday night in an interview with MSNBC that he does not see a path forward for his campaign. Americans will soon need real ID to fly. What you need to know. Let's take a listen to that video from NBC News.
A wealth of information, a wealth of perspective, a wealth of opportunities. That's the clarity you get from Fidelity Wealth Management. Straightforward advice, tailored recommendations. Tax-efficient investing strategies, and a dedicated advisor to help you grow and protect your wealth. Fidelity Wealth Management.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have both sides available, please. Step down.
It's the daily crush. 2.5 million passengers surging through airport security checkpoints. Starting today, TSA officers now offering a friendly warning.
Next year, make sure you have your star on your ID because you have to be in compliance with the Real ID Act. This won't be accepted next year, okay?
As of October 1st, 2020, you won't be able to fly if your driver's license doesn't have a Real ID star in the top corner. With the clock ticking, state DMV offices are bustling.
I know it's kind of hot outside, but be patient with us. It's cool inside, believe me.
In Virginia, they've even deployed mobile DMVs to handle the load. Everybody required to prove their identity with 4 forms of ID.
I brought my passport, so I have a valid passport. I brought my social security card.
And 2 more, like a current driver's license, a utility bill, payroll stub, birth certificate, or military ID. If you've changed your last name, you'll need proof, a marriage or divorce certificate. It's not just flying, you're also going to need a Real ID to enter a military base or even a government building.
Don't wait till the last minute, and absolutely, when you come in, be prepared.
Passed after 9/11, the Real ID law creates a single national standard for all 50 states.
It doesn't matter when your license expired. By October 2020, it has to be Real ID compliant or you will not be permitted to fly.
13 months till the deadline, enough time to gather your documents. If you don't get a Real ID, you'll need a military ID or passport just to fly inside the U.S. Tom Costello, NBC News, Herndon, Virginia.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. U.S. features point to slightly higher open. U.S. stock indexes were slightly higher Thursday morning. President Donald Trump walks back payroll tax cut suggestions. We don't need it. President Donald Trump is walking back his comments on implementing a payroll tax cut after stating that it's something he's been thinking about as a way to save the U.S. economy, which he described as doing phenomenally well from falling into a recession. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.